Radio Changel restoring everything in Christ with love and truth. Good afternoon with the main news. I'm Kennedy Mbewe Jr. The headlines. Verification over grade 12 results are slow. Guidelines on the celebration of Holy Week and Easter released. Counter misinformation about the COVID-19 vaccine. The details. Over 100 houses have been damaged by heavy rains in various parts of Luansha in recent weeks. Luansha District Commissioner Patrick Maipambe said 22 other houses are flooded in Zambezi area. Mr. Maipambe said 42 houses have been damaged in Fisenge, 45 in Kawama, and 36 in Baluba. He told Radio Chingala News in Luansha that some victims have been assisted with meal meal.
36 houses which were damaged by the rains, and I quickly went there and checked the impact of the damaged house. As the rain progressed, we had some more houses which were damaged at Baluba, bringing the total number to 36.
Catholic Diocese of Ndola Bishop Benjamin Piri has today released guidelines on the celebration of Holy Week and Easter during the second wave of COVID-19. The diocese Bishop Piri has guided that Palm Sunday will be celebrated on 28th March 2021 in parishes without the usual public procession. Mass for the blessing of holy oils will be held on 30th March in the Cathedral of Christ the King with priests and selected representatives from the religious and parishes in attendance. Bishop Piri said the rest of the faithful will follow Chrism Mass proceedings live on Radio Chengelo. On Holy Thursday, the bishop has announced that the practice of washing feet will be omitted, while the adoration of the Holy Eucharist will be done in small groups and shall not go beyond midnight. Meanwhile, Bishop Piri has allowed the resumption of catechetical lessons and Holy Childhood Mass, which will begin after Easter. Following the announcement by the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, that all those aspiring for various positions in the forthcoming August polls must verify their grade 12 certificates, the aspirants have begun the process at the ECZ Center in Kitwe's Riverside area. A check conducted by Radio Chingli News at the Examination Council of Zambia ECZ Service Center in Kitwe today found long queues of people trying to verify and validate their documents. And some aspiring candidates spoken to expressed concerns over lack of enough manpower at the institution, saying each office had only one officer to attend to people. Others complained of transport challenges as they were coming from different parts of the province. They also questioned why they needed to verify their papers despite taking part even in the 2016 general elections.
Looking at the duration, the time frame, I think the process is too slow. And the other thing I want to complain to ECZ, the Examination Council of Zambia, is I'm a sitting councillor and I certified my grade 12 results in 2016. So I'm very worried why we are doing the certification for the second time. Does it mean that after 5 years my certificate expires?
From Ushi, Chatawati, YCZ, they don't have manpower. That's all the problem that we have been experiencing as aspiring in ECZ office. So the advice that I can give to those people, they're supposed to provide the manpower, because we're talking about the interviews. As a PF, we are starting interviews on Sunday. Now we are talking about it, we are considering the time.
Looking at time and looking at the distance from Ndola to here, or from Kito to Ndola, it had to incur some expenses.
Those are the aspiring candidates are doing the validation of their documents at the ECZ Service Center in Kitwe. Moving on, continued vandalizing of public infrastructure in Chingola's Twatasha ward has worried area councillor Samuel Singa. Councillor Singa regretted that unknown people have been stealing and vandalizing public infrastructure like water and sewer pipes. Speaking to Radio Chingola News in Chingola, Councillor Singa is now calling on residents to report vandals to relevant authorities.
So next age, abekala mushibonza bina twatasha bonse kuba tifreto ababa watchman chirashitane chitamu kwaito munefu kuba tijonse ubuteko buletsu buletupera buletupangira mukwaito aposa kwa mano abantu tababudi tabona wireni pipe shata bibiri pipe shata kwa nukia mkushtisha kumbi.
Moving on, members of St. Cecilia, based at St. Charles Luanga Parish in Chipulukusu area, have taken part in clearing and unblocking of drainages on the main road linking Chipulukusu and town center. Some members interviewed by Radio Chingola said unblocking drainages helps to improve the flow of the rainwater and in turn prevent disease outbreaks.
Marega keti kutokawe so ni kwatamo bukakaro kurusana kuko batwapitura kwa marwere
turechingirira no musebo winyoyo batwangirako lokero atuko sesana ngamure time shitwa onaika
ame shiri ngiri ninga tarepita bwino imbi kuchwa bama accident ayengi abana limbi kuti yaba kunkurura menshi yabepaya
umukankala ukwata imifolo yesuma yakwata ti imifolo yesuma yakwata tinga byaleti shameshi bwino teti muwa marwere.
An international group of Catholic media professionals and scientists have founded a new organization to help counter misinformation about the COVID-19 vaccine. The group will create a database to Catholic media outlets and many facts-check news on the coronavirus vaccine. According to the Catholic News Agency, the group will be available in 7 languages. The project is one of the 11 chosen proposals by the COVID-19 Vaccine Counter Misinformation Open Fund. This news broadcast comes to you in the community service of Radio Chingola with compliments of Moose Milling and Go TV Broadcasting Zambia Limited. In foreign news, South Sudan's fourth president, Rebecca Nyandenga, who is the widow of the country's liberation leaders, John Garang, has tested positive for coronavirus. It is said that she had experienced mild flu-like symptoms and would stay in isolation for 2 weeks while being closely monitored. South Sudan has 9,809 confirmed cases of COVID-19 and 106 deaths. Here's the BBC with a roundup of stories from around the world.
Face-to-face diplomatic rebukes at the first high-level talks between the Biden administration and China. At the meeting in Alaska, the Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, criticized Beijing over a series of issues.
We'll also discuss our deep concerns with actions by China, including in Xinjiang, Hong Kong, Taiwan, cyber attacks on the United States, economic coercion toward our allies.
The trial of a Canadian citizen detained on espionage charges in China has gone ahead in the northern city of Dandong. Michael Spava was one of 2 Canadians arrested in China in December 2018, following the detention in Vancouver of the Huawei chief executive Meng Wanzhou. The trial lasted less than 3 hours, and Canada said its diplomatic representative was barred from entry on grounds of national security. Refugees congregating in camps after fleeing their homes in Ethiopia's northern region of Tigray have been describing their appalling living conditions. Thousands of people have been displaced since federal troops and their allies launched an offensive against the Tigrayan regional forces in November. Kalkidan Yibeltown reports.
The town of Shire in western Tigray is overwhelmed. The schools and the university campus have been turned into makeshift camps. According to aid agencies, some 200,000 civilians have arrived in the town fleeing their homes since November. Aid is finally arriving, but the people say it's not nearly sufficient. Humanitarian agencies warn of a potential crisis. Health services are almost non-existent. The region's interim administration says there are more than 4 million people in need of aid and more than 1 million displaced.
On that note, we end this afternoon's main news on Radio Chengelo. But before we go the headlines again, verification over grade 12 results are slows. Guidelines on the celebration of Holy Week and Easter released. Counter misinformation about the COVID-19 vaccine as well discussed. On behalf of the entire news team, my name is Kennedy Mbewe Jr. Thank you so very much for listening, and to all of you who are watching us on social media using the Radio Chengelo Facebook page. We have the news summary coming up at 16 hours. Thank you so very much for listening, and continue listening to the Station of Light Radio Chengelo, and enjoy the rest of the programming.